sit there now?
Oh, he's moving over there? Yeah, he's not seeing.
Oh, okay. You have to please put that stuff over.
Oh, right here.
Okay.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right, this is your chance.
Give us what we got.
Welcome everybody, everyone in the audience and on the dais. Please silence your electronic devices, and that would include me. And we will, if you would, please take a moment of silence, and please include in your prayers our first responders, our police and fire. They help us sleep better every night. Let's do that. All right, thank you, everyone. For those that are willing and able, please stand with me to pledge allegiance to this singularly great country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks, everybody. Got a couple of things to mention here. To answer any questions regarding which consignment shop I found this jacket in. The answer really is I'm kind of crowing a little bit here. This is a jacket that I won as a part of a golf tournament in 1975.
I'm colorblind. Mayor, is it green?
Not today. But yeah, so the good news is I won another tournament outside Charleston that was a cardinal color jacket, so it saves you from that. But I think I lost one of that in the divorces. So that's what this is about. I got a pretty big kick out of it. Still fits, it's in good shape. And just in case we change our colors to all orange, I'll be in good shape. Not Gator related. Next note, I wanted to note to everyone that former Mayor Bud Parker of Parker Lumber Lore and Legend, which is a business that had been down the street for 77 years, passed away recently on January 3rd at the ripe old age of 92. And Bud was Mr. Thomas will appreciate this, had a bachelor in business administration from the school up north in Gainesville. Served on the city council and including 2 terms as mayor, and was the member of the Planning and Zoning Commission, and also from 1961 to 1980 was the assistant chief of our then volunteer fire department. I had only had a chance to meet the man one time myself, but quite a guy. And I just wanted to make note that the city thanks him for who he was and what he's done for us. All right. Anything else we need to address on that, Maria? This is me, okay. I'll play with it in a second. Now, we have no public hearings, and so we're also wanting to, the city manager, anything you want to share with us?
No business.
Good for you. We have a consent agenda. Anyone wish to remove any items from our consent agenda? Hearing none. Anybody from the public like to address agenda items 2 through 9? Hearing and seeing none, a motion to be in order.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. There's a second coming.
Second.
Mike.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Pending any further discussion, Ms. Marie, you want to call the roll?
Councilmember Guthrie.
Aye.
Councilmember Hall Harrison. Aye. Councilmember Thomas.
Aye.
Councilmember Wild.
Aye.
Mayor McDonald.
Aye. Okay, very good. How's everybody loving these new monitors? Nice.
Pretty cool. I like action.
Oh, yeah. What else do we have? Now is our time for our legendary Maitland public period. And if this will be the opportunity for anybody from the public to address any non-agenda item. Now would be the time. Colleen, you just lost a bet, or Stacy's gonna bring us up to speed on library stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to hear about the library, actually.
Okay. Anything, Stacy, tonight?
I don't have anything special.
All right, very good. We'll go ahead and close the public period and bring it back to our first decision item. Ms. Maria, you want to introduce the item?
The terms of Amy Kerman and Josie Marston on the Lakes Advisory Board expire on December the 14th. Both are eligible and both wish to be considered for reappointment. The following applicant reflects this board as their first choice: Amy Kerman, Josie Marston. Second choice, Cheryl Patlich, Gregory Hardwick, and Lawrence Kellogg. Council is requested to make 2 appointments effective December 14, 2020, each for a 3-year term.
All righty. Comments, questions?
I'd like to make a motion.
Well, I'm all for that.
All right. One at
You
a
don't have to
time.
make a motion, you get to make a nomination.
The nomination, thank you. I'd like to make a nomination. One at a time, or?
Sure.
Okay. I'd like to nominate Amy Creven for Lakes Advisory Board. She's served us well and has a lot of knowledge.
I'll second that.
Yep, and chairs the committee now. We have a motion and a second. Looking for a third.
Third.
There you go. Miss Amy, still got work to do. Thank you. Let's have the floor open for another nomination.
I'd like to make a nomination of Josie Marston. Josie's been with the Lakes Advisory Board for many, many years and has chaired it herself. Good job.
All right, very good. Looking for a second for Miss Josie.
Quick question, is many years more than 3?
I was going to let that one go.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just say that she served long enough and to still technically have another term available to her. Sort of like I was in P&Z.
Second.
We have a second. Looking for a third.
Third.
All right, very good. So, Miss Josie, you got work to do as well. You and Amy work together as well as you have, and let's keep doing it. We have no particular discussion items to address. Is there anything that, under council reports, anything that anybody wants to chat? Ms. Sharon?
Yes, well, that's loud. Just one item, and that is, as you know, the COVID leave, the federal COVID leave expired on December 31st. It did not get renewed, however, we decided to go ahead and extend it for 30 days here at the city so that employees are still eligible to get the 8 hours of sick leave if they test positive or need to quarantine due to an exposure. And we think there'll be activity at the federal level that may fix that. But until then, we'll take it month by month. Numbers are going up, so we thought it wasn't a good time to
I think we
let
would
that
all agree
expire.
it's a wise decision. Thank you, Sharon. Anything else you want to share?
No.
All right. Any other announcements, reports?
I have something, if it's okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
So, last meeting when I was here, I was talking about construction notifications, and I think Dale and I were the only ones chatting, and it didn't really look like there was much want to have this as a discussion item. But I'm just kind of trying again to see if there's enough, thought to maybe just entertaining a discussion at the next meeting on these notifications.
Oh, distance notifications? Yeah. Okay, I understand.
Construction notifications of distance.
It's not a new topic. It's one we have addressed both at the planning and zoning level and at the council level in the past. It's both desirable yet problematic in how that's determined, because obviously every time that it's been a problem is when there has been a body of water involved.
Correct.
That is something that we sure can talk about. And since you guys, I know, love the mayor's workshops as much as I do, especially given the opportunity to be fed while we do it, it's not a bad thing. is that a topic that we might want to take on as a group and something like that? Lindsay, any thoughts? Mike?
I think I was on planning and zoning when we did it the last time.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I wish yours a great answer.
I don't know, did we do it, Dan? Were you there when we did this, or?
I think we talked about it before, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm with you. Just when it comes to that body of water, if we could figure something out with the water, because most of the time when you're across the lake from a project, you're more than 500 feet away.
It's very true, whether it occurred in, the Maitland Concourse North discussions, whether it's the discussions about, the property on the south end, it does present a challenge. And the problematic nature of it is that, that some of those properties in your neighborhood, for example, didn't fall within the 500-foot notification.
Yeah.
But clearly it's of interest. Now, again, from a functional standpoint, do we extend that to, I'm making it up now, to half a mile?
I think that would be the good discussion at the.
Well, and then it becomes a question, because that we can't, or unless we try to find some way to do this, and Cliff, this might be in your wheelhouse, that the notification distance would only apply when there's a body of water involved, for example.
You can, as long as you meet,
Turn it on.
No, it's not working.
okay, I forgot. As long as you meet the minimum legal requirements for notice, you can always make it broader for certain issues if you choose.
I
So
understand.
if you want it broader for issues where water's involved, you can make it that way. Way back when, where probably only the mayor and maybe Sharon will remember, maybe Maria, we did this regarding, I can't remember what, we had complaints, frankly, most of them generated from council, about people weren't getting enough notice, and so we broadened our notice requirements then on ordinary rezoning.
Right.
So yeah, we can do it as long as we meet the minimum requirements. We can always provide more notice. That's not a problem.
Does that answer you some of the, that maybe be something that we need to take up on at a P and Z level, Dan? In term, I mean, where we literally make those judgment calls once we know the location of whatever it might be. Because otherwise, to make the distance citywide longer probably wouldn't be appropriate for a lot of places.
Right.
But for a few, and the unique few that it might be, it does make it more appropriate. So it's a good question.
Yeah, I can see us in the future, I mean, especially Lake Faith or something, be an example of it, or there's a few lakes where we probably have some future development. Mr. Thomas, do you have any thoughts? You good with the discussion for later on?
If you're building like a 6 or 7 story building, then that would probably impact, people more than 500 feet away would certainly be impacted by that. If there's a field or an open area, I don't know where you would draw lines on that.
So it comes down to case by case basis?
Yeah, depending on the project, it could well affect, like a 6-story building could well affect somebody 800 feet away as much as something on a lake would affect people across the lake. So I just don't know where you would start drawing lines. And also these projects on lakes are generally not a secret.
Great.
Battaglia's project, I mean, my gosh. Dan Bellows project, so I don't see where stuff is being hidden and that people don't know about it. Because in Maitland, everybody knows about everything.
Or certainly thinks that they do.
just get on Facebook or whatever that neighborhood thing is. So I
I
don't
think it's the timing of it. When they send out the notification, it's, Dan, how much time do you send out the notifications to when it comes to planning and zoning? Thank you. Sorry. When are those sent out?
I was hoping finally to sit in the back and not have to talk one night. Generally, we send it out about 10 days before the initial public hearing at P&Z, and then, depending on what it is, if it's an ordinance and it comes back to council, then we do another advertisement for council, depending on what the application is.
So we just give them an earlier notification, so it's not like it's going to be, when it gets to council, they'll have.
Correct. They have a public hearing at P&Z that's notified. Now, the new code that's being drafted right now has the community meeting before the application even gets submitted, and that requires a 500-foot notification and a community meeting here in the chambers here. So then you'll get notified before an application's even submitted.
Well, these things do get expensive from a notification with an antiquated preemption from the state about how we notify people. And so we're home ruled a little bit there in terms of how we can do it.
You mean snail mail? And
Yeah, paper.
I mean, in Dartmouth, you just tell Elizabeth Birnbaum, and everybody would
Well,
know.
she told me to tell you, so but the,
So
that's just a lynch,
and she's actually a great resource.
Yeah.
So I just don't know if we'll ever get to a perfect notification system.
Any other thoughts on that, guys?
I think we're sort of throwing darts a little bit here.
Yeah.
I think Vance, I think this may be something that you talk to Dan about and see if you get a sense of with something maybe more specific as far as what you would see changed and how before we kind of throw it out at a workshop. I just think if a workshop, we'd just be throwing out.
Yeah. Well, no, I wasn't saying just a workshop dedicated to this. I was talking about incorporating it with the workshop that's coming up, just a discussion of
We
that.
can fit in that one with world peace and
Right.
notification distance and figure it all out. If you give us an hour, we'll have it.
I fear the upcoming one is going to use every bit of our time. And then
Yeah. It's going to be a little more comprehensive. So,
How about just even a discussion? Can we just even agree for a discussion for planning and zoning to kind of mull it over?
well, again, that's something that we have done. Mike and I survived it, and I think that Wild and maybe Thomas was there for part of that. Just don't know as how to play that. But that's something that P&Z certainly needs to be able to see if there's something in their view that actually fits the community's needs better. I tend to agree a little bit with you, Mr. Thomas, that we'll let you and Elizabeth know, and the rest will take care of itself. So, but it's an ongoing topic. Anything else, Michael, Lindsay? Okay, I got nothing. Anything else we need to talk about?
I got Dan at 14.
Well, then you should probably take that, my friend. All right, I don't know if we're setting a record, but I think we're done. Anything else we need to address? Thanks, everybody. We're done.